back to the Black Leather Eyes channel. Jason here. So, I was all set for making a video of some female-fronted occult rock, heavy rock, witch rock for want of a better term. But I got sidetracked, so I'm going to show some heavy metal EPs. I was watching, I'm new to his channel, so, and Justice for Earth. And I was going through some of his videos, really good channel, and I seen his top 10 metal EPs, which was really good. Stuff like Sodom on it, and he made me pull out Eyes of Horror by Possessed. What else was on it? Metallic was on it. Slayer was on it. Alice in Chains, Tool. It was a really good video. And it got me thinking about how much I like mini LPs and EPs by heavy metal bands. And there's so many crackers that come out. If you get a good one with good tracks on it, obviously, and you know, they get in, they get the job done, and they leave you wanting more. So I picked out some. I could make another video on this easily, and I might do that. But yeah, so here it goes. I'm going to show some mini LPs and EPs with some heavy metal bands. What we're listening to in the background, if you can hear it, I'm using a new phone today because my other phone packed in. So I don't know what the mic's like on this or the picture or anything, but we'll see. And what we're listening to is Satan Superstar, Stanley Black. Have you ever seen the devil look more disco-y than this? So what's on this? This is all stuff like you know, bits of The Omen, The Exorcist, Rosemary's Baby, Seventh Victim, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, stuff like that. But sweet LP. Alright, so first up, this one might be seen as more of a full length to people, but there's 6 songs on it, and it's sort of, to me it's always been a mini LP, and this was one of the first. This is Power Lord, The Awakening. This was one of the first heavy metal albums I ever owned, actually, strangely enough. My Uncle Robert gave me this. Now this is the Heavy Forces reissue that came out a load of years back, and he gave me this record when I was first getting into hard rock and heavy metal music, and I really loved it at the time. And it was this, the original self-financed one with the red letter, and they brought it out again on Shark Records, I think, in the late 80s. It just had a black and white cover. But I had the original, and silly and stupid, I got rid of it in the 90s. I think I was talking about it in my last video. There was a bag of records I sold in the 90s, which I needed a ticket for. And that sort of thing can wake me up in the middle of the night knowing that I got rid of this record. But I'm happy enough to have the Heavy Forces record. I would still love to have this back, the original of this back, but it's the way it goes. Weird record to be given when you're younger, because my cousin Robert gave me a lot of stuff. Like, he gave me Nazar's Greatest Hits, Ram Jam's first album, Santana's best of, maybe a Deep Purple record, did I say the first Ram Jam record, stuff like that, classic rock stuff. But this was one he gave me as well, which was very strange to be in amongst all that. And I always really liked this record. It's got a wee bit of a murky production on it, but it's fantastic to me. Still love it. So you've got Masters of Death on here, Malice, Silent Terror, The Invasions of the Lords, Merciless Titans, and Power Lord, the Awakening Power Lord, the last track. Songs on this like Malice and the moodier and more atmospheric Silent Terror are absolutely brilliant. Really love this record. Really heavy as well. I remember being struck by how heavy it was at the time. And when I first heard this, I was probably listening to more of the commercial stuff that was on the radio or whatever you would hear on the radio, like Def Leppard and stuff like that. So this was a big deal to me, and still a superb album. Clocks in about half an hour, and six tracks on it. Brilliant record. Next one, Demon Flight. So I pulled this one out, and this is from '82 on Metal Blade Records. And Well, see, the first track on this, Dead of the Night, has some of the most annoying, nasally vocals you'll ever hear on a heavy metal record, I think. But in a way, they're lovable to me. I'm used to them. But the song on this I really like is called Search and Destroy. I thought that Brian Slidell actually played on this record. Maybe he was in this band at some point. I don't know. Maybe you can let me know. But Side 2 has Flight of the Demon, which is like 9 minutes or 10 minutes of an instrumental. It doesn't really go anywhere. I mean, it shows some great playing and stuff but the track on this that I really like is Search Destroy. It moves along like a punky Motorhead heavy metal track, and really enjoyable. And the vocals on it, I don't know whether it's the same vocalist or not, but there's only one guy credited with the vocals on this. But the vocals in Search and Destroy they're not in that nasally high register like the first one. The first track, Dead of the Night. But yeah, it's good fun anyway. Demon Flight, 1982 on Metal Blade Records. I think this is an underrated record here as well. Hack's Quest Sanity. And I like all the Hack's records that I've heard, and the ones that I own, through their different phases and different sounds. But this one here is vicious and just straight up in your face, nasty, relentless. So what have you got on this one? This came out 88. So this is when Hax went like full on thrash. Even the last song in this, Sardonicus, just dives straight into death thrash and doesn't give a fuck. It doesn't look back. So we've got Twice as Bright, which is an amazing track, the opening track. Oh yeah. We just want to sing our song before this fucking world is gone. Twice as bright, half as long. It's an amazing track. Feels the Death, the second track's amazing too, with the way the guy just spits those lyrics out. War Machine is superb. Mirror of the Past and Racial Slaughter. Relentless and vicious and absolutely cracking. Listen, I think it's underrated. Here's one, I think I've shown this before. One that I really, really love. Ruthless, Melt Without Mercy. What a cracking solid metal record this is. You got Gates of Hell on here, Melt Without Mercy. Bury the Axe, Time to Bury the Axe, brilliant. The Fever, A Mass Killer on side B. I still haven't picked up their album that came out after this. And did it come out after this? Well, their debut album, I still haven't picked it up. I don't know why, because this is absolutely fantastic. And I was talking before about how I held off for ages trying to get this record because I wanted it with this original cover on it, because it's amazing looking. Yeah, Melt Without Mercy by Ruthless. Here's a well-known classic, is Merciful Fate. This is from 92 or 82 as well. So the first EP, their first record, came out in Rave One Records. Corpse Without Soul, Nuns Have No Fun, Doing by Living Dead, Devil Eyes is an amazing track. This has side A and side 1, and it still to this day it throws me when I take it out of the sleeve to put it on. I always end up putting on side 1 and going, what the fuck. When I first borrowed this off a friend, and I copied it onto cassette, I copied the tracks around the wrong way because it's side A and side 1. But yeah, what else can you say about this? Amazing songs. I was one of those people that took a wee while to get into King Diamond's vocals. And because of the Melissa record, when my friend let me hear Melissa for the first time, I was aware that I was listening to some of the most amazing metal music ever. And so, just going back to it, I warmed a wee bit more to King Diamond's vocals. And I respect how unique and stuff they are now, but at the time, you know, people talked about his voice like it was creepy and ghostly and stuff, and all I could hear was Sesame Street, Elmo, and it was like, but yeah, I'm well used to it now, obviously, but still not my favorite vocalist. But the music on this is absolutely amazing. Here's another one that came out in Rave On Records. Evil's Message. This was a blind buy for me in a car boot sale, and the guy was basically giving this away. I couldn't lose when I picked this up. Never heard anything about them. It wasn't until way later when I was able to get on the internet and stuff and find out some information. So this band came out of the same area as Merciful Fate, which probably led to the little rumour that Keen Diamond actually played guitar on this. I mean, the album's called Evil, it's on the same label, and the guitar player is called Kim. And but this is amazing. Evil's Message, Evil, The Devil Wants Me, Son of the Bitch, Take Good Care of Your Balls. Love the production on this. The drums sound fantastic. And the way it kicks in, it has a little bit of that excitement I had when I first heard Kill 'Em All. I think maybe it's just the production of it, just the speed of it. It's great speed metal on this. It ends with Take Good Care of Your Balls, which everybody should do, if you've got balls. My mate thought that was hilarious the first time I let him hear this record, and he laughed a lot. Actually, we laughed a lot that day because we watched the Bronx Warrior movie, and it has some of the most amazing dialogue you've ever seen or ever heard. Anyway, yeah, Evil's Message, fantastic record, love it. Here's a solid mini LP from Hellion. I think this is just called a mini LP. I think this came out later on the 80s. I think this was 86, but I think originally it came out with a different track listing, slightly different track listing, and some different running order, and it had different artwork. Confusingly, they used this artwork on a compilation as well called Up From the Depths, which came out way later. But I've always really liked Hellion. They've always been a very satisfying band. They never tipped the scales into complete excitement for me, but always really liked their records. As I say, just satisfying heavy metal. Some of this reminds me of like some of the Rod stuff or something. You know, it has that sort of vibe to me. Backstabber, Fire, Up From the Depths, Break the Spell, Driving Hard, Don't Take No for an Answer. But yeah, Hellion, Anne Boleyn's voice, superb. Here's one's a wee bit different vibe. Synvitus, The Walking Dead, and whether you like Synvitus or not, it's hard not to respect them for just coming out the gate with their own sound and sticking to it and not being deviated from the path. And it really paid off because they're legends now, aren't they? But yeah, this has got Darkness on it, and White Stallion's more of a faster pace for the Synvitus are more known for, I suppose. And then you've got The Walking Dead on it, which is just zombie doom brilliance. It's such a great track. Hold Your Breath, Baby, We're Roaming Here Tonight, and then starts into that amazing riff. The start of that song as well has a bit of a Robin Trower sound to it, before it goes into the real heavy doom. But yeah, two faster paced tracks and a doomier track, and well, a full-on doom track, a Walking Dead classic. Great band and a great little EP. Here's one that pulled out that Chromium Dioxide it put out their last video for the Metal Tag Part 2 of their video, and it was amazing as usual. It just, well, you know, the brilliance you expect from that channel, and obviously a lot of brilliant records. But they pulled out, they showed the first Snow White full length, which is brilliant. And this is from '85. It's got 5 tracks on it. What's this called? Kick 'Em When They're Down. This doesn't hit quite as hard as the debut full length for me, but it's still amazing. Live for the Weekend, All Hail to Thee, Run Like the Wind, and then B-side Too Late. Turn Up the Pain's really good, got really grinding riffs on it. Some amazing riffs on this. And this hammers along like Thrasher Acid or Motorhead or something like that. And it doesn't quite hit as hard as the first one. Their first full length to me, but it is absolutely superb, and they're a brilliant band. Probably like a lot of people, I heard this band first on the Stars for Thrash LP, the compilation. But yeah, Kick 'Em When They're Down by Snow White. Obviously, Motorhead influence there, yeah, with that logo and stuff. But decent EP, really good. Here's a cracker that I've loved, and it was the first Rigor Mortis record I ever heard. This one's got Doyle Bright singing on it, so this is Freaks. It's got Doyle Bright singing on it instead of Corbett, but Mike Scassi is playing on this. His riffing hand was it was amazing. I suppose it's a sound now that people are well used to with the modern extreme metal and stuff, but was it back then? I don't know. His technique was amazing. But yeah, this has got Freaks, Cattle Mutilation, The Haunted. Cattle Mutilation has good use of the cowbell, which is on point, being that the song is called Cattle Mutilation, isn't it? The Haunted, 6 feet under, Worms of the Earth, and Chained in the Attic is amazing as well. If you buy this, if you haven't heard this and you buy it on record, you might think that your needle's jumping when you first hear Freaks, because it has those repeating riffs. But superb. I really love this EP. It's great artwork too. But yeah, when's this from? 89. I heard this in 90, I think. So still absolutely amazing record. And Doyle Bright has a cracking fringe, doesn't he? Yeah. Rigor Mortis, Freaks. Long live the Freaks. I'm going to do one more. What time are we at? I'm going to try and keep this as short as possible. I know my videos ramble on a lot. So this is Deadly Blessing. And 3-tracker, limited edition EP. This was something I picked up because I just love that purple, simple logo on the black background. And then it has 2 songs on it that just appealed to me straight away, but just by the titles. Salem's Lot and Crab Medusa. Probably because I was just Medusa, because of like Class of the Titans, when watching it when I was younger, and that scene just stuck in my head forever. And I watched the movie Salem's Lot in my grandmother's house, and it scared the absolute shit out of me, and I've been a horror fan ever since. Escape, they're both amazing tracks. Salem's Lot, the way it opens up with the singer, and the singer likes to stay in in that high register a lot. But he starts off with a vocal that just sounds like a shrieking banshee, and it just goes into that track. Amazing track. Escape the Wrath is sandwiched in between Salem's Lot and Crab Medusa, which doesn't do it any favours. It's a solid song, but Crab Medusa is absolutely amazing as well. And I should really get off my arse and buy their first record. I've skimmed the surface of it online, but I never picked it up. So this came out on New Renaissance Records, and I think this is 1988. Yeah. Great vocals on this. Some people might hate it, but I think these songs are absolutely fantastic. Salem's Lot and Cry Medusa, top tunes to me. And yeah, Deadly Blessing. I could make another one of these videos, I might do, but I hope everybody's keeping well, and until the next time, catch you later.